Hey there, and welcome to the Fumble Forward podcast, the show where we use life's guaranteed imperfect moments to grow into better people. I'm your host, Aquia, and I'm so thrilled to have you on this incredible journey. And this season, Happy Yourself, we're on a mission to uncover the secrets of happiness, deepen our connection with God, and nurture the kind of connections that light up our lives. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the beautifully imperfect. I missed y'all. I'm back. I took Thanksgiving off last Thursday, but your girl is back. And it felt weird, honestly. I was like, oh, shoot, it's Thursday. And then I was like, okay, it's okay. We're going to come back. And I am really pumped about this one. And it's probably not something you think of when you're like, oh, how do I make myself happy? This is probably not the one that comes to mind, but you're doing it innately or should probably do more of it. Y'all, I am talking about reflection. I'm talking about capturing your fumbles and using it to propel you into this awesome, freaking awesome version of yourself. Okay, like I'm going in about how I've achieved so many goals that I've had in my life. I'm talking about what reflection can do for you, where you can apply it to your life, all the different things of how you can really use this, what I consider a skill, to happy yourself. And really, y'all, I should start with my background. Like, where did me and reflecting come to be? And honestly, I would say journaling. Now, imagine cute little Aquia in elementary school, and I'm having all the crafts, and really journaling looked like drawings, a few words, pictures, stickers, all the different things. Like my journals were definitely an involved creative process and just a fun way to capture life. Like even before there was social media, I was capturing it with physical items, the book and glue and different color pens, all the different things. So my journaling's definitely started more of a creative, more picture artistic vibe. And then it really transitioned in middle school and high school to more of journaling, writing, entries, all the things where I got to pick cute designs of different journals, which was actually a really fun part for me because every time I finished a journal and started a new one, I would be in such a different season of life. So I didn't know what I would grab. And it was just fun just to have different things. And so I've always loved writing. I'm not sure who I get that from, but y'all, that's the background with writing for me. But I want to really go in about why I consider reflection a skill and how you can develop it. And I say that because y'all, when I've talked to people, I'm like, reflecting is not a normal thing for everyone. Like everyone doesn't just sit there and reflect and ponder life like I do. And because of that, some people's like reflection muscles kind of weak. And because I do it all the time, I like to believe mine is like pretty strong. So these are like a few of the things I've done to really hone in the skill of reflection. And I'm going to leave my best one for last cuz why not? I would start off with kind of an obvious one is journal more. Journaling, getting the thoughts in your head down onto paper are huge. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I created the Flaws and All journal for the Fumble Forward community so that you all can get it because journals are just so powerful. Like having designated space to write reflections is super, super huge. And so that was a lot of why I created the Flaws and All journal that you all can get. Link will be in the show notes, is for that exact reason. But also realizing as you're reflecting, you got to get comfortable with sitting in the uncomfortable. Like that's a part of strengthening this skill that is reflection because you're going to want to resist it, especially if you have a more flee approach to things. You're probably going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to think about why this relationship ended." But you got to force yourself to be like, "No, we're going to sit in this," or "I don't want to think about why I got fired from this job." No, we're going to sit in it. And so being able to do that is huge, but also embrace the aha moments. because our body is so good at looking at the bad, but we're not good at giving ourselves joy and grace when we have an aha moment, when we have a reflection and something makes sense that didn't make sense before, right? So that's also very huge. But the biggest one I would say in developing the skill of reflection, y'all, it's ask questions. Ask the right questions. Ask questions till you don't have any more questions or that you get tired. I mean, ask the questions that are hard, annoying, uncomfortable. Ask the questions that are not even fully clear questions to yourself, but it'll get you started. So, those are the four things I would say that I've used to really develop the skill of reflection. Journal more, ask more questions, sit in the uncomfortable, embrace the aha moments have all really done that for me. But if I haven't already told you why reflecting is the way to go, this is it. Y'all, you get to learn about yourself. You get to know you more. And how awesome of a feeling would that be? And if nothing else, when you go to job interviews and they ask you, tell me about yourself, what's your weakness, what's your strength, what's your 5 year plan, all these things, reflecting is going to help you get crisp, clean answers with that, authentic answers with that for yourself. Or if anyone just asks you in general, or someone that you just met that's getting to know you, that's going to be from reflecting that you really get a sense of that. And I would also say that not only do you learn about yourself, but you just learn more about life and how things work and how you're responding to it, how people are operating. So sometimes it's about learning how other people operate, countries, etc. And then one of the benefits also from reflecting is seeing the good in your life, seeing how you've been blessed. And that is so important when we just can easily be consumed with everything that's not going right. When we look on social media and someone seems to have everything you want to have and you don't have that, reflecting is good for seeing the good in your life, being thankful, gratitude. That starts to show up in that space. And one that has been so helpful for me, because being able to see progress in my life is huge. One of the benefits of reflections is seeing how far you've come. I've been able to see how far I've come in my jobs, in my education, and my simple ability to do different tasks. I mean, all of it. Like a perfect example is reflecting on like my kickboxing journey. I started in 2021. I started with literally maybe 2 classes a month. I mean, 2 classes a week. Sorry, 2 classes a week. And I started doing really early morning classes. And then I reflected and I was like, this is maybe too early. So I tried afternoon. And then I was like, okay, this worked for a little bit. And then I tried evening. I was like, no. And then I found the perfect time in the morning. And I started with 2 classes and I reflected and shifted and moved. And then I was doing 5 at one point. Like that journey grew and I got so skilled and got awards and recognition with kickboxing because I was able to reflect and get better over time. So those are just some of a few of the benefits, but I know if I sit and think even longer, I could come up for more for y'all. But really, I want to talk about, now that you know how to develop the skill of reflection, you know the benefits. This is where you can apply it in your life. You can see it show up. And one that I really want to hone into, because it's football season, basketball season, all the seasons, sports. Sports is a huge place where you can apply reflection. You don't think when you learn a skill for the first time, let's say you learn a backhand in tennis and you don't quite get it right. You got to reflect on why you didn't get it right. Did you move your wrist in a weird way? Was your hand not holding the racket right? And then you keep reflecting and adjusting, keep reflecting and adjusting. The same with basketball, with the free throw, practice your 3 pointers, whatever that is. making sure that you're able to throw that football exactly where you want it to go every time, that requires reflecting and then applying, reflecting and applying. So, sports is a great place where reflection actually shows up. It's just named something a little different, aka practice. But that's a place where reflection shows up. Also, work is where reflection shows up. You look at what well in a presentation, what didn't go well, and you tweak as needed for the next presentation. And you apply that to so many other aspects of your job. A big one, also, I would just say relationships is a constant game of reflections, of you said something, it hurt somebody's feelings, reflecting on why it hurt someone's feelings, reflecting of, did I think about that in the right way? Was I considerate? Was I intentional? All those things. And of course, one of the most important relationships we have is with our partners and our husbands and wives, boyfriend and girlfriends, etc. So marriage is a big one for me where I apply reflection. Did I handle the situation well? Could I have handled it better? Did I think about them over myself, etc.? And of course, with faith with God, I'm constantly reflecting on my journey with God of, am I in the word enough? Am I praying enough? Am I creating time for meditation? Am I in the house of the Lord with other believers? Like all those different kind of things is really where reflection shows up for me. And sometimes as simple as hobbies and just new things you're starting, new ventures you're starting, and learning what's working, what's not working. And so those are areas that you can apply reflection. But of course, there's probably more that I haven't shared here, but just great starting places. And really, y'all, switching gears a bit, where I've built community is by attending group events. I've been really leaning into saying yes to group events. And whether that's like my sorority sisters doing a girls' trip, whether that's going to my hometown for Thanksgiving, you name it. But it's been so much fun talking about reflections with y'all and how you can capture your fumbles and use it to help you be your best self and just getting yourself the right tools to do that. And that's what the Flaws in All Journal is all about. It's helping you use the power of reflection to get you to the best you that's out there. And I appreciate y'all listening, and please subscribe because we still going. Like the year may be over, but the podcast is not over for this season yet. Still got a good few episodes left for you all, and I want you to know when they drop. So subscribe, okay? And then also, I want to remind you that you haven't even experienced the best version of you yet. Bruh, that's so good.